It's a quick smoking chat here for YouTube. I got some stuff in the works coming. Got a lot of training footage, a lot of good stuff. I want to get some good voiceover stuff out, some instructional stuff. Honestly, still kind of... I hate saying it like this, and I know everybody likes to say, oh, just fuck it up, and then, you know, and I'm with that. I'm with the whole, like, do it quick and fuck it up and then fix it later thing. But you guys gotta understand, like, I was in the military, and what I did in the military was, like, I was a combat medic. I was a corpsman, so I did a lot of, like, hands-on medical stuff. I did IVs, blood draws. I helped deliver babies for years. But one thing I didn't do was a lot of electronic stuff. The only really stuff I did electronically in the military was charting, like medical charting, and that was like, you know, like, okay, yeah, I did ×1 IV, left AC, boom, like click enter, and then, you know, the nurse did most of the charting anyway, because I wasn't a nurse, so I didn't do a ton of charting. So even then, I didn't get a ton of, you know, usability of a computer. And then when I was greenside with the Marines, I never used a computer, like ever. Like that was like a foreign object for us. Truthfully, I mean, towards the end, we did start getting access to things to put labs in for guys, but really, like, the senior line was the only one doing that, and I was the senior line, and I would farm that out to the other senior line and ask him to do that for me, because truthfully, I didn't want to fucking do that shit. I knew I was getting out of the military, and so that was the one computer thing I could avoid, because the only time I really needed to get stuff put in was, like, you know, I needed, like, some labs for one of my gunnies put in or something, and so I could just hit up my buddy, who usually needed that done. And if I needed to, like, offer him a little tit for tat, like, hey, could you do that for me? And then if, like, I needed to help him out or something, you know, work out a deal. But all that to say, editing all of this fucking footage and putting it together with voiceovers, making it sound composed and not sound like a, gotta be careful with that word, you know, an idiot on camera, it's a little new for me. You know, I kind of get, like, a little stumbled up on my words sometimes. Sometimes I just, like, smoke a joint, open my laptop, and just start talking as if nobody's in there. And then that's actually when I'll produce the best content in terms of, like, instructional videos, stuff like that. Because I want to be putting out stuff that's helpful, you know. Because I have a ton of videos, ton of workout videos. And don't hesitate to reach out private if there's something that you want. You're like, dude, you've been putting shit out, and I just still have not seen a fucking video on how to do a barbell row, and I want to know how to do that from you. Send me a message, bro. I'll fucking send you the video the next day, or I'll post it on my page or whatever. You know, I've done that for clients for months. You know, anytime there's an exercise that they're like, you know, like, I've gone to my apartment gym middle of the night and just, like, filmed it. And I'm like, here you go. You know, if they're a night shift guy and they're at the gym at 2 in the morning, I'm like, fuck it, I'll drive over there real quick. Or I'll do it first thing in the morning. You know, so, and that's not to make it sound like I'm, you know, at their beck and call, but, you know, I don't want there to be exercises in their program that they don't know how to fucking do, right? So they at minimum need it, that video, by the next time that rotation comes around, because if they're confused on how to do that exercise properly, I want them to at least have an instructional video with corrections by the next time they hit that, whether that's 3 days or 7 days in the rotation, depending. So a lot of things going on with that. Free Factory Training, everything's still rolling. We've got about, I think, around 10 clients right now, 10, 11, something in that ballpark. We got a couple guys we're onboarding right now, so we got a couple new faces coming in. You know, still keeping it reasonably tight-knit, which is partially semi-intentional. You know, I don't think I'm capable of coaching 100 people at once, right? But I am capable of coaching, you know, maybe 20 or 30, you know, solid people that check in on their incremental basis. Yeah, you know, because that's not 20 or 30 people a day. You might have 3 people you talk to this day, you text the other 5 the next day, right? Like, and you're kind of always following up with people, but those are numbers that are manageable. You know, I've now worked with, I believe, 19 people since August, 19 or 20 almost now, clients. Various lengths of time, you know, some of them only stayed like a month because they, you know, because life circumstances, shit happened. Some of them have stayed 3, now 5 months, 4 months. You know, I've had people, a few of them have rode with me the entire time, and that's awesome to have people not only pay for 3 months of service, but then be like, can I stay for another 3 months, or could we work out a deal to stay for another 3 months? And then there's other guys too that, like, I have good faith and hope that they'll come back and work and see that my service has gotten even better. Like Emmanuel had to walk away because he had some stuff going on with some personal stuff, but oh my god, I know you guys saw me posting him. He was making some fucking dope ass progress, and he still is. So I'm not trying to be a shithead like, oh, I want to put my label on it, but you know, like what me and Emmanuel were doing, we had a good little recipe going, a little Dr. Dre Eminem shit going on with the fitness.
So I'd like to keep working with him. And there's other people too that I've worked with that, you know, if you get your money up, not your funny up, whatever, and you want to come back, please do. Maybe we'll get you a discount. New Year's going on. But if you're a new face and you want to come in, start working together on health, fitness, nutrition, you know, hit me up. I am around. Like I said, we onboarded some new faces today and yesterday, so I'm going to be fulfilling on those guys this week, finishing up writing their programs out, getting on the phone, hopping on with them. But if anybody else wants to kind of get on the docket for January with this promo we're running, I believe I said I was going to do it. Did it the other week, and then I think I just turned it on for another 24 hours. So pretty much till now, like, I guess I'll do it till like Friday morning, so like the 8th of January, something like that, and maybe even beyond. Just hit me up. You know, if it's a couple days after, maybe we'll work together, but or work it out to work together. But you know, trying to offer discounts to people to get people in on their fitness with the new year. I understand bills are hitting, you know, tax season. We haven't gotten those fucking refunds yet and all that shit. And also just the economy is absolutely dick cheese at the moment. I don't know if anybody's been to the grocery store lately, but like everything's like fucking $10 minimum, even for like a jar of salsa. I'm confused. Like at this point, like I'm just gonna go to the local taco truck that sells fucking tacos for $2 and just fucking do that. You know, fucking carne asada tacos, fucking any time of day for $2 versus I go to Walmart. You know, fucking Jesus Christ. Like, I'm kidding. Even though on a bulk you probably could get away with that, even though it's probably not recommended sodium wise and maybe other health markers, but fuck it, there's worse things to bulk on than fucking carne asada tacos, truthfully. Gotta blow this out. Make sure I get everything out of that little bong. It only lets you pull so much smoke because it's so itsy bitsy that you kind of gotta like feather the fucking, I don't even know what the piece is, the down piece, whatever, to like get all the smoke out. Ugh. You don't really even get that satisfying of a hit, but I like it because it's very convenient and small, and it has Rick and Morty on it, which people like. I've never watched that cartoon, but allegedly it's good. Jesus. We did have Raising Cane's tonight too, which, like I said, there was an Instagram story, and this is gonna be controversial, but I didn't even finish it. Not a big fan of it. Really, really, really salty. Not terrible. I've had it before. I did finish it, so maybe I just wasn't hungry tonight. I did smoke, and I am I'm gonna go train, but I can tell I'll be hungry later, so just not for that. So, not to say that I crave clean foods, but that kind of messed my stomach up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Just a hair, just a tad greasy. Kind of wish I'd done Chick-fil-A, as bad as that sounds. I don't know if that's gonna give me a shot or not. It's probably like professing your love for Biggie is in Tupac's area or something, but hey, you know, I think I might like Chick-fil-A a little better than Raising Cane's, and I'm in Virginia, so I don't know if that's controversial or not, but I could go back and forth on that. Maybe I could be swayed. Not a big chicken person anyway, though. Burgers is usually my go-to cheat, that or like Denny's or IHOP, like chocolate chip pancakes, shit like that. Anyway, your boy's bakes now, but just trying to give you all an update. Fucking generator's running again. Well, you got the Jenny running. Can't seem to get this big battery, the Bluetti, up to 100%. Having a little bit of an issue where the generator will only charge the Bluetti for about an hour, but then once the generator gets fully up to power, it's too much power for the Bluetti to take in, so I'm gonna need like it's like a power current regulator thing. It's like a couple $100 that I gotta install, and that'll make it to be more stable. Or I can just sell that current generator I have and then buy one that will allow me to regulate the power on it, which is probably just what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna just use this one for the next couple weeks to get me through, because it does work to charge the Bluetti for about an hour when it first turns on, and it charges the Blue Eddy about half, and then once it gets fully up to like warmed up, it won't charge the Blue Eddy anymore. So I'm probably about to go cut it off though, because it's been running for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and charging the Blue Eddy. So I'm gonna go turn it off, see how much juice we got out of the Blue Eddy. The Blue Eddy was at, I believe, 38% or 40% when I plugged it in, so we're gonna see. I'll be right back. Alrighty, let's see what we're at. I'll leave the door cracked. It feels good getting some fresh air. I got this whole smorgasbord of wires going on here. Move some stuff here to get in here. %. Wow, that is a good number. Nice. Like that number. Solid. Yeah, and it's a lot. I like to be in here with it because it's running such high ampage. Is what is, I guess, because my generator I have is like a storm backup generator. So the problem is it has a range of like 5,400 watts to like a max output of like 7,067 or something. So I think when it first starts up, it's a little weaker potentially. So the Blue Eddy's cool with it. Or maybe it's stronger when it starts up, but whatever, it's more stable when it starts up. And then once it's warmed up later, after about an hour, it has a good power fluctuation just because it's a low quality generator. That's how it works. And so then the Blue Eddy starts alarming, and then that's when it stops charging for the whole van then, which sucks. But that didn't even happen there. It was still charging when I cut it off. So pretty good amount of time. I got about 45 minutes. So all the way from 38% to 84%. And it does it in like I said, like an hour or less, which is probably gonna fuck my Blue Eddy up, charging it that quick. Somebody could tell me in the comments, but I have no better way of doing it right now. So if this is gonna fuck my Blue Eddy up, my $800 Blue Eddy, I get it. But unfortunately, like, that's the business I'm in right now, this van. Like, I may have to fuck the $800 Blue Eddy up for the next couple weeks to keep me alive, keep my fridge running, and then have to buy another $800 Blue Eddy. But then the next time, don't fucking charge it like a fucktard and get the better inverter generator that I can regulate the power on. Sorry, I'm fucking doing this shit with the phone, but you can see what I'm dealing with. Tiny little ledge here. And it's like a weird space standing up here in the van. But yeah, we'll figure out the, you know, what the plan is with the power. I mean, solar panels is the ultimate goal. I'm not trying to sound like I want to be running off gas forever in the van. It's just solar panels are going to require a roof installation. I want to get high quality 200 watt panels, and I want to have multiple of them. So I only have one solar cord right now for the Blue Eddy. It's not that long, so I may just need to order other solar cords as well, and those aren't cheap. So, and neither are the panels. So it's going to require some saving, and then installation, and then planning of how I'm going to do that, right? Ladder, tools, all the things, you know. So it's about $1,000 project, which is a lot right now, versus this generator, which was $300 for the generator, and then for the tailgate mount was like $150. So $450 for the generator, but still $450 instant. Pour gas in it, turn that bitch on, boom, lights. Versus $1,000, and I'm doing MacGyver shit. I get it. It's just I don't have that 1,000 right now, so. Either way, I want to have one of the nice inverter generators that I can regulate the power, because I think that's dope to have on the back of the van, just as like a survival standpoint. Like, turn it into a Walking Dead vehicle. Like, if shit goes bad, you want to have solar panels and something like that, so you can siphon gas and power everything, your fridge, everything. I'm off grid, right? Short of like an EMP, and I'm not trying to sound like some doomsday prepper guy, but like, you know, it's safe feeling when you have like your full rig like this with your guns, your home, everything's in it. I could sleep in it. I could park it up on a mountain with a fucking hunting rifle, buddy. Like, come and take it. And it's, hey, dude, that's a free American statement. You know, that's not me trying to sound crazy, by any means, because I don't even have a hunting rifle anymore. Or I do, my dad has it now, but stuff like that, like having this secure vehicle is really cool. And I do have all the doors locking now, luckily. And then luckily my neighbor Kurt, who I met the other day, is actually a GM mechanic. And so dope enough, he offered to help me with my blower fan. That's not working up front, so that's why I don't have heat in the main cab. And then he also offered to help with the lock on the passenger door, because that one's stuck in the, it was stuck in the unlock position, now it's stuck in the lock position. But I'd rather it be stuck in the lock position, and then just, if somebody wants to ride in it, they have to just get in through the side door, which I get in through the side door anyway. This is like getting into a fucking, I don't even know, it's like getting into a fucking helicopter. It's huge. It's like a big ass helicopter. Or a pontoon boat, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. She drives nice though, honestly. It's like a moving truck. It's just slow. But it drives nice, sturdy. It's like a moving truck, or a bus maybe, like a small bus, a short bus, I guess. Kind of drives like that, I guess. I'd say more of a box truck is what it feels like, just because of how high this shit is. So the center of gravity is a little weird sometimes. I got the air added in the tires now, and it does drive a lot nicer. It did have low PSI, so just because it's winter and it had been sitting for a little bit, so inevitably tire pressure is going to be down a little bit. But other than that, she's running good. I slept here last night in my sleeping bag. I was reasonably warm. I woke up cold once, but I'd also unzipped it because I was like super hot, and I took my socks off, and I was like being a girl. I like stuck my legs out, and then I woke up cold later, and I was like, why the fuck did I do this? So I like put my legs back in, and I was like trying to zip it. And then I have my whoopee too, which is like my military, like, if you know, you know, the whoopee. But I have my whoopee and on top of my cold weather sleeping bag, so then I like pulled the whoopee over, and then that was like dope. Then I was like comfy, and then I was hitting the vape, and I was like, bro, this is nice. Because I was like still cold, but I have the propane heater too, and an electric heater, so it's not like I'm dying. And I can turn the rear heater in the van works too. I just like willfully didn't turn these things on because it was like 35 degrees, and I have a cold weather sleeping bag. Like I was in the fucking military. Like it's not that bad. And I mean, you're not like dying. It's like just get in the sleeping bag, zip it up, put it over your head real quick, and then just like hit your vape, and you're warm. Like it's the same as turning the fucking heater on, but the heater's gonna take 5 minutes and costs money, and then I'm anxious about it running while I'm sleeping, you know, because I have anxiety. So like I'd rather just do that. So it was a pleasant experience. I could see it being kind of shitty if it was like 0 degrees out, like snowing, and the whole van was just like an ice box. Like that could be rough. But I mean, if anything, it got like kind of warm in here with me breathing all night and stuff. I was like, damn. I was like, it's like 75 degrees in this bitch. I was like putting my legs out most of the night. But I also ran the heater before bed for an hour on low to medium, so that got like a good baseline of warmth in here, and I got all the windows closed. So it kind of varies with the heat in this bad Larry, but overall though, good little workspace. Got a lot of little projects still going on back there that'll finish up this week, and that's kind of just the plan right now. Just going to the gym, hitting good workouts, fulfilling on clients, just making sure the guys that we got grinding keep grinding, and the guys that, you know, want to get back into it can get back into it, and the guys that are going to take a break, you know, because they've been on their shit for a while, you've earned it, you know. But with that, always have the, you know, the regrinding, or the regrounding back to the grind, we'll call it. Because I get it. Like at the end of my cut this past summer, I was peeled, like I was shredded, and I could eat anything for like 6 weeks. Because like sometimes when you've been training hard, especially coming down as a man, your metabolism can get so revved up sometimes, and my metabolism was like that. It was like high school for a couple months, and that's fun, but you have to like regulate, right? You can't just, you know, have fun when it's fun and then train hard when you're on gear and having fun. You got to train hard year round. You can't just eat big and try when the drugs and everything's correct. You have to do it year round. I'm on 250 milligrams of test right now, nothing else, just getting blood work, eating my protein, doing cardio, making sure I'm not trying to not lose weight, you know. If anything, just trying to maintain where I'm at. Hold as much as we can of the fort with 250 milligrams of testosterone, you know. Trying. It's more diet, and if anything, the hardest part for me is I can't move the weights that I was, so then it's hard to have the same appetite because I'm not training. You know, did 315 incline press the other day, only got like 8. I was throwing that for like 12, you know, with reps in the tank like a couple weeks ago, and I still probably could push it for over 10 if I was carved up, had 2 rest days back to back, probably get 11. But it's not the same 11 that it was a couple months ago when it was like 12 racket, like, all right, let's go to 365, bro. That was fucking clean, easy 12, you know. So the weight's feeling different now, just in 10 weeks, right? And that's something I notice, not to be a dickhead, but that's because I'm on ground level with my body. And so that's where I try to be with my clients as well, is I can go into their logbook at any time and look and be like, this is weird, dude. Like, your bench, you've done the same weight for 3 weeks, buddy. Like, the program says you either have to go up, you know, or repeat until set amount of reps. So like, why haven't you hit 8 reps with this weight? And it's like, okay, if that weight's too hard to hit for 8, well, now okay, why? Do you feel, okay, so it feels really good for the first 4, but then you're unstable? Okay, there's a reason for that. Probably our triceps are weak. Probably our shoulders are weak. Probably our form is off. Something's probably off. Maybe not. Maybe that motion just sucks. If that's the case, that just sucks. We're just gonna have to lower the weight and continue going. However, a lot of times we can switch movements, switch planes of pressing, go to Smith machine, go to rope, barbell, dumbbell. We can switch things, play with the angle, and get better results. So just some tidbits there. And those things are applying to me too, like big time lately, like keeping me injury free with some of my elbow things that are nagging, as well as just nerve problems from the military. You know, half my body doesn't really like to always play nice because I do have nerve problems, but I don't really talk about it. I just kind of live my life, and then if people ask, I'll tell them. But yeah, I don't really talk about disabilities a lot, but if you do have things going on as far as your body and stuff, I get it. I have a lot of things with mine. I know maybe people look at me and they're like, oh, he's Mr. Perfect, he looks good or whatever, and I work really hard to show a physique that I'm proud of, but it's not without limitations, or my body's not without limitations. There's a reason you won't see me deadlift ever without straps, and that's because I can't pick up more than 315 without straps. My right arm is incapable of it. I can't produce more than about 100 pounds of force with my right arm. No matter how hard I try, I don't want to talk about it, it pisses me off. In terms of a grip, I have actual neurological like issues. I can't. I mean, I can't. I mean, I've taken steroids, I've done peptides, I've done everything. They can't even do surgery. It is what it is. And I'm, again, not complaining about it, but it's with limitations, right? Because now I can't, you know, grip dumbbells and stuff, so it makes it hard on pressing movements because my body doesn't press the same way on the right side. So that's just me being a little vulnerable and sharing something about myself that I deal with. That is a true diagnosed medical condition. So, you know, it's okay if you have things that make you unique, you know, and you're like, well, damn, I don't know if I'm good enough, or I don't know if I can train or whatever. It's like, motherfucker, like, the thing is, dude, like, anybody can train. I have a 58-year-old client. I mean, she's been in like multiple car accidents. She's had so much adversity, and she shows up, is what she does. She goes to the gym, and her workouts aren't perfect every day. She doesn't do everything I tell her every day. In fact, lately, most days, she's done different workouts because she's been at crunch, and she's had personal trainers coming up to her, and she's been working out with friends, and then I haven't really even known what machine she has, so, because she just moved, so we have to rewrite a new split for her new gym, but we keep in contact in terms of the motivation, even though she's working a full-time job, and the only program she has is her last one, which might not work at her new gym, because which I think it will, because the new crunch she's at has everything. So it's not like, oh, he's a bad coach. She still has a fucking program. It's just, you know, I like to have one that's updated with the current machinery at the current gym, not just like a raw split of like, do some squats, whatever. Like, you know, like, no, like, what leg machine, especially her, like, she's not fucking squatting, she's doing machines and stuff. So we need to figure out which machines work and which ones we can progress then. As far as building strength, right? Make those the cornerstones of your split then. If you can't bench press, but you can do the cable loaded chest press, whatever, which she can, that's how we work with her. But all of that to say, like, she shows up. She shows up. She goes to the fucking gym. She gets on the fucking scale. She tracks her fucking food. And she cares. Like, she doesn't obsess over it. She works a full-time job. She goes out, has a few drinks. I mean, we started working together. She was 236 pounds. She was 202 the other day, I want to say. I think she had the one day where she said she woke up. This was last night or the night before we talked on the phone. She said she woke up at 197. So that's 39 fucking pounds down since working with me. 196 will be 40 pounds down working with me. And I'm gonna drive this fucking van to Florida and we're gonna smoke a joint on the beach together. Because she's not the perfect client. She's not, you know, hell, even when she was on my program, like, there was stuff that was hurting and I'd be like, skip. Like, if I saw that, I'd be like, skip. You know, take that exercise out, we'll sub it in. And then maybe there wasn't something we could sub in because everything hurt. But she's fucking made it work. She does cardio. She knows she needs to be in a deficit because she's read the documents I sent her that are like, look, this is a self-guided program, but I'm here as your advisor. You know, so it's no bullshit. So it's like, if you want the result and you really are willing to go, like, say, that's what I want, then I will get you there. It's like a Sherpa up a mountain, but you have to listen to the Sherpa. So if the Sherpa's like, that's a big rock, you have to step over it. You have to be like, okay. So if I'm like, hey man, we're gonna have to cut your calories like 50 and probably up your cardio like 15 minutes, you know, to get to that next level of fat loss, that next 10 pounds. When you've already been going to the gym consistently and having fun with it, you know, it's a little annoying, but it's like, okay, got it. Extra 15 minutes this week, got it. You know, it's like a small dial you press or you twist on the you know, on the switchboard of controls, right? You know, and I'm there to be your accountability to be going. So you're showing me every day, you know, that you've been going, but you're going for yourself more so, right? And then I'm just there, like I said, as like your Sherpa to make sure you're doing it correct. I'm guiding you. I'm there for the accountability and really just, you know, the truth is dieting's not up or down, left, right, center. It's different for every person. I'm not gonna fucking sugarcoat it. It's different for every person. The bottom line is, yeah, we're gonna put you in a deficit. We're gonna move your body more. We're gonna make you drink water. We're gonna get you out of bed. We're gonna make you do things. It doesn't necessarily mean, you know, you gotta do anything crazy. I've had guys that made progress on 3 days a week, 4 days a week splits, losing 15 to 20 pounds. So it's not just Geneva. She's not just one dedicated client. I have Adrian as well. He's, I believe Adrian's down. He started at 211. So I have two guys that started at 211. Or Adrian's technical start was, I think, 210. No, it's 211. I mean, he confuses me because he was like, it was 211 the day before I hit you up, and then it was like 209 the next day, 209.4 or something. And I'm like, whatever, bro. Like, that's, I'm counting it as 211. Fuck him. But he's like 180. He was 185, and then I think he rebounded back up a little bit. He had some travel stuff going on. He was partying a little bit because, like I said, he was down 25 pounds. He was feeling good about himself. So he went to Tahoe. He met a girl. He had some fun. Sorry, Adrian, not trying to put your shit out there. He had himself a good weekend, but he felt good, looking good, and he deserves that because he worked for that. But with that being said, did rebound up to 192, something like that, and then now we're locked back in, back to like 188, 189, with the ultimate goal of like 175. You know, so we're still working together. He was one of my original guys from August. Re-sign, we're still working together because we're making good progress. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you show up and you want the results, we're here. I'm here. And I'm here to, you know, to really guide you there, to give you the no bullshit and, you know, give you the most with the least. I'm not putting these guys on steroids. I'm giving them the basics of nutrition, cardio, good gym workouts, good, you know, training sessions that are going to effectively activate, you know, the muscles that we want to activate. If you're a dude and you want your upper body bigger, we can kind of hyper train those things a little bit, make those things bigger a little bit quicker if we want to. We don't have to listen to all the noise of Instagram and the world. Turn them all off. Because a year ago I looked like a fat fuck, and now I'm, you know, not tiny. And, you know, did that in less than basically like 6 months. And I was taking less gear than most of these guys. So, might be on something, onto something, or on something, or a little bit of both, right? I guess there's truth to both of those. Yeah, this is turning into a little bit of a monologue, but yeah, Adrian, amazing progress with him. Trying to think who else. We've had other guys in the other direction as well. Chase came to be around 160, 161, 162 pounds, something like that. Consistently been almost at the 180 mark now. We were in the 180s actually, but a little bit bloated, had some stomach issues. So we're back down, I believe like 179, 180 depending on day right now, with the ultimate goal of like 190 lean if we can. You know, we're creeping that up there. It's just going to take time because he's natural, but he's training hard, he's training heavy. Over the course of 6 months in a caloric surplus or a year, it's going to happen. We may have to do a cut at some point to kind of peel some of the fluff off. But he's one of the unique ones where he'll look a little bloated, but then like 2 days of low carbs and you're like, oh, there's his waist. It's literally like, boom, his V tapers back. So, you know, I'm confident with him that, you know, we're going to bring a good look next year, especially he wants to compete. So I'm excited for that. Like, he's going to be one of my guys that I prep for next year or the year after. If he chooses to do a show and wants to work with me, I would be absolutely blessed and fortunate and thankful to have his business, and honestly just stoked to put him on stage looking his best, because that kid works fucking hard. And it shows. You know, had some great dudes that I've worked with recently as well. My in-person guys, Kevy, who we haven't linked up as much lately, but he got up about 10 pounds bulking pretty quick, and then kind of fell off, had some stuff happen behind the scenes, but he's kind of getting back on his footing now. So confident and hoping that, you know, we can make some more progress with him and get him feeling, you know, best possible. And then Jay, you know, Big Jay, making good progress down to honestly like 198.6 this morning or something like that, from 211. Week like going into like week 6-ish. So really good progress with him, but you know, pound 2 a week, fucking killing it, man. And his V taper's coming in, he's fucking waist, like I'm really, and his quads are sweeping. Like I'm really excited about the look he's gonna be having. Like he's got a ton of muscle, and we're really carving him up good, and we're gonna get him on Retta here this week as well. And then that's gonna hopefully help with obviously the things Retta helps with. You can Google it. I don't want to make this video any crazier than it needs to be about different left, right, up, down subjects, but Retatrutide, if you want to look that up, you can look that up. It's not a steroid, it's a peptide, but it helps with fat loss. It's a GLP-1. I'm not gonna go into it more, but it's about all I know how to shit out my mouth without sounding like a retard. Oh God, I said the word again. But yeah, I'm trying to think anybody else I want to highlight here. I'm thinking Emmanuel, you know, I don't want to leave Emmanuel out, even though he's no longer a client, but he's got some stuff going on behind the scenes, maybe coming back here soon. Another client, stud, down, lost 17 pounds, I want to say. Trains hard, listens, and I think, you know, has a really good solid foundation we could build off of and build some good strength next year. If he chooses to work with me again, you know, I'm excited because I know he's got a bulk planned, and I want to be a part of, you know, maybe the next cut if I can't be a part of this bulk, just because he's moving and has some stuff going on financially, which is okay. We all do. You know, nothing to say that, you know, maybe he just didn't want to hire me again. That's okay too. You know, no hard feelings. But we got some new guys coming in as well. That I'm optimistic about. A couple dudes that have talked about competing, which I'm excited about. You know, I want to do my own prep some other dudes, put some people on stage, see how we can do. Optimistic for the future, definitely. Excited to see what we can bring to the stage next year of myself, and then just, you know, like I said, anybody that wants to work with me. The competition stuff, I haven't really like tooted the horn on a ton, but you know, if anybody has the thought and has watched this far as I drink Raising Cane's Sprite, hey, you want me to prep you for a bodybuilding show? Trust me when I say that's the guy you want prepping you. I promise. We'll bring you in sharp. I promise. I'm not saying I'll bring you in fucking glutes peeled fucking crazy the first time working together. But if you listen, I can get you in shape. I can get you in good shape. I've gotten in good shape myself. It's not too crazy, not too complicated. It's more, just discipline and repetition. And it's very apparent usually in about 6 weeks if you're going to be capable of it or not. So no hard feelings. It's not like it's going to be a 12-month long process. Like, you're either going to follow the diet or you aren't. So bodybuilding though, I do want to compete next year myself and do it out of this van, hopefully. And then any clients or just friends in the area that are competing or want to link up in the next year, I'm planning on taking the van and, kind of antique road showing it over there. Excuse me, that Sprite got me bubbling. But I think we're going to end this video here with that other half scoop of pre that I need to do, because I had a half scoop previously at home with a guy earlier. I signed up a new client earlier and he was going to the gym, so we ripped the half a scoop together because I was also leaving for the gym. But I also had a cheat meal to have, and then apparently a 30-minute video to make. But my name is Ryan. I am an online fitness coach. I think I'm gonna just make this my VSL at this point, which a VSL is a 30 to 60 minute, which this is a 36-minute video now, I believe, by my iPhone reading eyes. I don't think I got any VA disability for my eyes, so can't fucking use that one, buddy. That's just they're just degenerating. That's just the nicotine. But my name's Ryan. I am a online coach. I also do in-person coaching in Virginia Beach, combined with my online service. So if you're somebody that's able to make it to Virginia Beach, once, twice, if you live within an hour or two radius, hit me up. Got guys that I've done that with. And then other people that live local, obviously would love to work with you consistently. If you want to get swole. No, I'm kidding. I mean, we'll get you lean. I mean, and like I said, most of my athletes are natural. In fact, pretty much all of them are. I'm like the only one that's like not natural, and I'm barely not natural. I'm just on 250 tests, so don't want to harp on the gear ton. But seriously, those are some of the people I've worked with that I wanted to highlight, that I think deserve to be highlighted. This is kind of just me being in my element. I live in this van now. It's not glorious, it's not amazing, it's not a beautiful life, but it's my life, and it's what I've always wanted, was just to have something where I could provide for myself, cook my own meals, keep comfortable. I got a TV, man, I got heat, I got AC. I could take this thing to any gym, post up, make scrambled eggs, make an omelet. I got blackout curtains. I can fucking go to bed, turn it into a fucking, literally an apartment. To me, that's the dream. Maybe to some people it's not the dream, but to me that's the dream. And maybe have 20 or 30 people that trust me with like helping them out with their advice with getting big, like I've been doing since August. And I feel like, I'm not gonna say every interaction's been amazing. So if you've talked to somebody about me and they're like, it didn't go great, he's kind of an asshole or something, I'm sorry about that. There's a few people that I've worked with that, some of the interactions just didn't end great. And, being accountable about that lately. One of them was, just honestly, the guy, just different training methodologies, and honestly, it's okay. If you're not wanting to train the way I train, then don't pay for my service. It's okay. And so we parted ways, and we still send each other memes every once in a while. But I'm gonna be honest about that. And I've had a few other interactions where not proud of the way it went down, but I can't let myself be taken advantage of, and I certainly can't I have to hold other people accountable too, so as a coach. With that being said, but for the most part though, the ones that I highlighted, those are my studs, the ones that lost 20 pounds in 12 weeks, 25 pounds in 12 weeks. Geneva's down almost 40 fucking pounds, bro. Let's fucking go, dude. Ripping. I'm so fucking proud of them. And that's what this is. This is my 12-week, plan. That's what this video is highlighting. I do work for 6 months as well, 24-week plans with people. I have a couple guys that have done that, and I'm blessed to have, people that trust me for that amount of time. I even have one guy that signed up for a fucking year, which, fuck yeah, dude. the amount of muscle I can put on somebody in a year, if you listen to me, is fucking crazy. If you really want to put the muscle on, like, not to sound like a fucking asshole, but like, if you really listen, and you're just like, for some reason you're that crazy, the only thing you want is like 30 pounds of muscle, I'm your guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm your fucking guy. I'm not arrogant about that, but I'm your fucking guy. I'm your guy, okay? Like, fucking Paul, he ain't your guy. Steve, he ain't your guy. I'm your guy. And the reason I'm your guy is I've done it like 15 fucking times with my own body. I've gotten skinny for the military, and then I got fat again. I got skinny, and then I got fat again. I got married. I got skinny in high school training, but then puberty, and then couldn't put muscle on, and then did finally put muscle on, but then I was kind of fat. Like, at some point in high school, I was like 240 because I overbulked. So then I got skinny again for my bodybuilding show back in the 170s, got shredded. Kind of maintained it for a little bit, went to college, then I got fat again because I did D-ball. Then I got skinny again because I fucking joined the military, and I literally went from 250 to like 190 again, joining the fucking military. So when I say I've done it 5 times, 10 times, it's not really an exaggeration. I just did it again. I was 270 last year. Now I'm like 215, 220, 225, depends on the day. I'm light right now. You know? I'm proud of that. That I have the ability to manipulate my body in that manner and go from, like, you know, fatter, if you will, to leaner, to then super lean if I choose, right? And I like to share that with people. For me, that's what I'm saying. It's something that I just do recreationally. So when other people want help with it, it's like, I love helping people, because especially if you know, are willing to do some of the stuff in the gym that I want to push on you. You know, some of the stuff that, you know, I'm going to make you train hard. I'm going to make you do cardio. I'm going to make you pose. I'm going to make you do things that might feel a little weird. You're like, why? And it's like, well, those things will bring the best out of you. Hate to say it. You know, it was a little weird. I had to go to like jujitsu with my buddy last year. Or I didn't have to, but I chose to. You know, fun thing to do. And I was still a big boy too. So the cardio was not great. Now the cardio is great now. But you have to like bow. You have to be like, beginning of class, you have to be like, to the fucking sensei, like bow to your sensei type shit. It's fucking weird. But if you really love jujitsu, that just becomes a part of it. And you're like, no, dude, I like going to jujitsu. Like, jujitsu's fun. So you don't really give a fuck about the bow. Like, is it a little weird, even in hindsight? Like, even after you've been going for years, you're like, it's a little weird that I like bow to another dude. Like, I know you're being respectful or whatever. It's a little weird, right? To me, right? Fitness is the same way, where it's like, I'm not saying you're bowing to your sensei by sending check-in photos and getting on a scale or whatever, but it's a little bit like that, where that's just part of it. That's part of it. That's the standard that's maintained. You know, that you're capable. And when you have that standard for yourself, or at least you have that baseline that you've set at some point, then when you go back to like just Jay chillin', now it's just different, because the stuff that you learned when you were fully locked in allows you to now go back to Jay chillin' and just implement small pieces at a time. Like, ooh, yeah, didn't train that hard, so probably shouldn't eat all those carbs today. Boom, bingo. And guess what? You're not probably going to put on as much fat now, but nobody else would know that unless you're a relatively high functioning individual who understands their body, right? Which you're not going to get to that level by just like chat GPTing and like reading shit off of like YouTube videos, or like being like, this guy says be 300 calories in a bulk and do squat bench deadlift for 6 weeks and fucking progress weight and I will put on muscle. It's like, bro, there's more to it than that. There's more to it than that. Like, unless you're just a fucking hyper responder, there's a lot more to it than that. I wish it was that simple, because I did that for years and it got me like going, but it was like, holy fuck. It was like 5 fucking years of doing that. And it does build a good base. There's nothing wrong with it, but you can kind of like speed past all of that now with a lot of the things that are involved in life now. Not even talking about steroids, just talking about like readily accessible gym equipment, nutrition, protein shakes, digestive enzymes, like a good nap. Like, there's things that, you know, once you get your body revving metabolically, that you don't need steroids, you know, unless you have higher ambitious goals with your muscle or whatever, which is a whole nother thing. And I have athletes that are interested in that or do that, and that's a whole nother conversation that's private between me and them, motherfucker. But anyway, my name's Ryan. I like to coach people in their health and fitness. I like to smoke a lot of fucking weed. You know, I have a lot of guilt about the past just because I got in trouble as a youth. I sound like such an idiot. Got in trouble as a youth. But I got in trouble as a fucking youth. I had a whatever upbringing. It wasn't terrible. I was fortunate in a lot of fucking ways. And I recognize that. And I still am. But I'm here to serve and I'm here to help people. That's what this started as, and that's all I ever want it to be. Every single day, you know, in some small way, even if it's just a text to a couple of the clients, because we don't got any calls today and everybody's half them on their fucking rest day. It's fucking Easter. Still, there's 2 guys maybe hitting arms, and maybe one of them girlfriend just dumped him, and he's having a rough day, but I'm there. Hey, bud. Yeah. Hey, no, don't fucking hurt yourself on that close grip bench, buddy. Don't put fucking 4 plates on, bro. You're not ready for that. Even though maybe I want to see you do that 4 plates, we're gonna wait on that, buddy. Like, careful now, right? Even though I have done reckless shit like that myself, it's also my job to guide people off of that mountain, because those are the days and ways you get hurt, you know. And then if you don't have a coach or just a friend there sometimes, so that's all I'm saying. Sometimes that's all it is, and that's all it needs to be with this for me. It doesn't always need to be, you know, $5,000 in the bank account and me being like, look at this, dude, I got fucking 7 new clients, bro. Look at this, let me take a screenshot of this, bro. I'm gonna go buy a new pair of shoes to reward myself, which I do, bro. Every time I get a paid in full fucking client over 3 months, I let myself buy a new pair of shoes if I need them, not like frivolously. I've done it twice because I didn't need new shoes because I've been beating the shit out of them. So I go buy a new pair of, like, these are Dunks. I get them at the Nike surplus store for like $95. Okay, they're not crazy, but you know, I did do that twice because a paid in full client for a coach is huge. Like a $1,500, somebody coming and being like, I'll work for this amount of time, and they pay in full. That's huge because that person's committed. And that's so fucking good because that means they're going to check in every time. And that's what the thing is. People always want an off ramp. People always want to be able to quit. So that's why they want to sign up for $300, $200, $100 for a year. They're like, can I sign up for $50? You send me all the shit, and if I don't like it, I just unsubscribe. It's like, well, of course you're not going to like it because you're going to put no effort into it. You're not going to try. Like, you wouldn't like anything that you didn't try at, right? At this point, you're just like licking ice cream cones. Like, go lick somebody else's fucking ice cream cone, buddy. Like, we're here to get progress. This isn't just a tongue dip to just try a new workout program, bro. And maybe it will be one day. Maybe I'll sell programs, PDFs and stuff. And that's in the works. I have some written. I just don't have them in a format where I'm comfortable just like throwing a label on them and selling them right now. And that's just, for me, from a pride standpoint, I think it looks like shit if I don't have like a good graphic and stuff. I care about how it looks, you know. I know you're like, well, we don't care, it's just a PDF, bro. It's like, yeah, I get it, but like, I feel bad selling you a PDF if it just looks like a fucking PDF. I at least want to put videos and pictures and blurbs in there from me saying like, look, you know, this is why this ARM program is so big and important. And then have like videos in there showing, because I have videos of the ARM progress, of me implementing the things I'm talking about in the PDFs, and then add those as pages in the PDFs, right? Like, look, this was in 6 weeks of doing this. And you're like, what the fuck? Holy shit, things mutated. Yeah, I did that with my rear delts last year. I did that with my arms to an extent, with my shoulders. So you can do that. You can kind of hyper train certain body parts. So that's what I'm here for, is for those guys that, you know, you've been trying in the gym. Like I said, maybe you've been doing the squat, bench, deadlift, you've been doing the PPL, you've been doing the push-pull leg, you've been eating the protein, and shit still ain't working. Like I said, there's a little more to it than that, guys. It's the consistency, there's a methodology, there's a mindset, there's all factors, and I wish I could condense it all into a 10-minute video and just give it to you and cheat you a fucking ham sandwich. But unfortunately, the same reason that guys aren't able to help me, these business coaches that I talk to, it's the same thing. They're like, look, bro, I can't fully explain to you how to like build a $500,000 coaching company day one, but what I can tell you is get out there and start signing clients and helping people, and that's the first step, right? And so that's what I'm here doing. That's what I've been doing since August. And it's humbling, so humbling to have people willing to take my advice. And I know I'm a shithead and act like a shithead, but you know, especially if you meet me in person, I might be in a good mood or a bad mood. But the one thing is you can't deny is I've been doing this a long time. And that's what I'm trying to monetize and sell now, is my truly just what I've done for so long. You know, it's just the experience that I have, that once you go into a 12-week bulk or 16-week cut, whatever it is, I can help you in ways that, you know, I didn't really realize until I started doing it, was when people would hit those speed bumps and I'd be able to then pull them out of it or get them right over it or go right around it. When if they didn't have you, they'd be like, I don't fucking know, you know, like, and they might not have made it around that potentially. Feels cool. It's humbling every day, and you know, it's truthfully, like, it's something that I never thought that I could do. And I know this is just me talking, but coaching years ago was something so coveted when I came up in bodybuilding. You know, I never thought you could coach unless you were like a former IFBB pro who'd been doing it 15 fucking years, you know, and you had some huge name and whatever. And there's still truth to that, but there's also merit to just paying your dues, you know, like I have, in terms of I've gone to the gym and I've been doing this a long time on the level that I have. I don't claim to be an Olympia level coach, you know, I don't claim to, but I can get you in shape. I can get you muscular. I can get you to 220 lean, you know, 300 lean. You're starting to look at like a freaking cocktail stuff, man, Ronnie Coleman. But there's a level of basics that'll get any man 200 to 220 pounds lean and strong. And I sound like an idiot, but it's a recipe, it's a formula that works pretty well. You know, rinse and repeat, you could call it, but it is different for everybody, because you can't just rinse and repeat the same strategy. It's rinse and repeat with the progress, in terms of get them down 25 to 30 pounds if that's what they want, and then repeat it with the next person. But the rinsing it's different with everyone. And so that's why I'm saying it's so humbling, because it's just like, you might go from one client into the next thinking, you know, this is how I went with the last guy, I'm gonna maybe start at the same. You gotta read every client different, do the intake call, give them what they want. You know, why do they come and hire a coach? It's because they want to elevate their fitness. They want to get to a level they've never been before, obviously, right? And they want somebody that they're confident is not going to give up on them. And that's the thing. It's like, I don't give up on my guys, bro. Like, even when they fall off, I've had guys go to jail multiple times, multiple clients. I wish I was fucking kidding, bro. And this is why I say it, like, Freak Factory Training, these dudes get out of fucking jail and they're in the gym the next day and they're like, nah, we're locked the fuck back in, bro. Fuck that shit. Yeah, you're a freak, bro. Like, to be able to do that mentally, like, that's fortitude. I don't give a fuck who you are. Because there's a lot of people that would just be on another bar stool the next day, you know? I'm not shitting on you if you've ever done that, but it's the weak play. I'm not saying I've never gone to a bar stool, but it's the weak play generally. So, with that being said, that's what my coaching's on, is founded on just hard work, discipline, accountability, and just being willing to show up and for yourself many days in a row, truthfully, and crush it like you never have before on a program. Be willing to listen, be willing to learn a lot, as far as, you know, methodologies, different movements, different exercises, trying new things, keeping an open mind, I'll call it, in the gym, and not pretending like you know a lot when you don't, which is okay, but also not being insulted, and just understanding we're all at a different spot, even me. Take away what you can, and I think, you know, if you come to my coaching with an open mind and the willingness to work, I don't see any reason why anybody wouldn't be super successful, truthfully. Yeah. This is my video sales letter for Freak Factory Training. I genuinely hope that anybody that sees this is fucking blessed, because this is a long video. But yeah, coming to you from the van, live and in person. Gonna go in and hit shoulders now. And yeah, would love to have anybody as a client. And if not, hit me as a follow, like, subscribe, talk shit in the comments, I guess. Tell me my fucking hairline's receding. Do something. I don't know. Anyways, have a good rest of your day.